welcome. And today I wanted to discuss some analysis on a giant. And a giant that I'd seen before and was really amazed and thought to myself, this is the greatest video of a giant I've ever seen. And after doing some quick research, quickly became disheartened by the reviews of this giant, and which I shouldn't have. I should have reached my own conclusions. And I feel as if I have, but what I'm really saddened about is that I've never seen anybody, really take this giant footage and maybe do an analysis on it. And it's just been discarded, and it's turned into the idea that this piece of footage was made for a modern movie, and it's just, advertising. And I don't think so. I mean, having an eye, as I'm sure many of you have, especially looking at a lot of these older photos and really determining what is an old piece of either photograph or video, compared to what is not. And to me, this really seems legitimate. And we'll go through that here shortly. So here is this glorious piece of footage of this giant man in what appears to be Japan. And, it's worth the analysis. I think this appears, I'm looking at his shadowing under his feet when he walks. I'm looking at his muscles when he flexes. I'm looking at his strange shape. Let's just say he's not a giant. What of his strange shape? What of those, neck muscles and kind of shortened arms? And I swear that I've seen, statues in the ancient world that show men that look like this. And this is the best piece of giant footage I have ever seen in my life. That's all there is to it. Again, this man does not have the physique of a modern man. Now I want you to look at his footprints. Look, that's authentic to me. If you're looking at that shadowing, let's look at that again. Let's start at the beginning. I don't know. And again, even if for some strange reason this man was superimposed or, and was actually a smaller man, he is a fascinating man. Let's watch it in backwards. This man is really stepping, and this man has a very light and graceful walk for his massive size. He's light-footed, but I do believe that would be very difficult to fake, and somebody would have to go to great lengths, especially with this older, grainy footage. When I'm looking at the buildings back here, when I'm looking at those buildings, we see kind of Antiquitech up there. This is legitimate. And the faintest shadows, maybe you could superimpose some shadows under his feet, but not the shadows that are created, about a foot or two away. Those are very faint, very, very soft and subtle that you can see at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. That is, if this is a forgery, then this is a master forgery. Again, if this was fake footage just made for a trailer, not even made for the movie, but for a trailer, this is obviously old footage right here that you can see. There's no way this was made in modern times and made to look old. And so here is a back view of him walking. And again, I mean, the footage is, probably some of the oldest video recording that exists. So this seems like the same scene, but from the other side, another angle, where he's waving. There we go. There it is. You see how he raises the left hand? Now let's go back, and he's raising the left hand. But regardless, another angle, because the first angle is this one. Now that's on one side of the street, which tells me two people are filming, and he's down low. Look how low this photographer is. Very low, maybe kneeling. And now let's look at this photographer is up high. And as big as this man is, he's probably on a second story even, zooming in a little bit. So at the last minute I found an amazing piece of footage. Again, much crisper, same footage, much crisper. And then I found an article, and then I lost it, and I found something semi-substantial but not as good. And it talked about, this video is from the 1890s, and the man was said to be from a tribe called Cha-Cha. It was said that he was the last giant who had lived on an island with the name of Ha-Ha Jima. And this was actually chronicled in the pre-war Japanese Imperial Archive. And the other article that I found, and and I'll probably find it just when I wrap things up with this video, but the other article talked about his family that he lived with in Japan, and it was just absolutely beautiful. Now, initially when researching this giant, you will not find this piece of footage because the whole idea is that it was made for a trailer for the movie Big Man Japan. And he's supposed to be this warrior and this protector, and this piece of footage has nothing to do with that trailer or this movie, and it's actually very difficult to come about. You really have to do some digging before you get to this piece of footage, and it really throws the whole movie and the trailer idea off, and just an amazing piece of footage. So what can we conclude of all of this? Should it be so unusual that there would be one giant left over in Japan, walking amongst people in early times? When we look at this old blockwork in Japan, is this not proof that there was a giant people? I mean, they have left their traces all over the world. And again, I think it's a shame to quickly debunk this, as it has been on the internet. And, ancient Japan is something that's new to me. This whole idea of, this stonework and these traces of an ancient people. And here I just feel really fortunate that somehow this piece of footage existed. And again, I think, it would be in somebody's interest, in somebody who is shaping this reality or helping to shape it for the worst. It would be in their interest to create a stupid movie and pay someone, some amount to just throw people off. And that's exactly what people have done with this. They have taken it as, oh, it's just this movie. And most of what you see on the internet is that. I would say the mass majority is not really any kind of analysis of this footage, but rather, oh, it was just part of this movie, end of story. And so, yeah, I think, again, we're reminded of the ancient glory that once existed in Japan, most of it being underwater as shown in this picture. And I think really this is just one piece of the puzzle. You know, I had a prior video on giants, and I showed what I believe to be some giant people in Peru. And I actually used this piece of footage that I'm now showing in this video at the very beginning, and I just glazed over it. I really wasn't sure, and I watched it probably several dozen more times after that before I finally felt comfortable enough to present some sort of case for this video. So I do hope you enjoyed it, and please share your comments below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I just wanted to finish up this video with explaining why I originally pulled the video. And I just felt it fair to the giant and to this case to present him alone, where originally in the video I had included some what I felt to be really good flat earth proofs. So in any case, yes, bless all of you that commented and originally watched the video, and I just thought it fair to present your comments here at the end. So again, thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next video.